on Monday for a 7th round draft pick. We will be hearing more reports today up until the deadline, and that's one of those situations where players may think they're safe that make the roster, and then trades are made with other teams, and then more churning has to go on. So it's going to be a busy week.
Wild couple of days coming up. You can find the latest on our website at kshb.com. Chiefs practice this morning. We'll hear from select players after that.
Coming up, we're talking about a rezoning request for the Englewood Arts District that would allow people to build tiny homes or ADUs on their properties, but not everybody's for it. We're sharing their voices.
What matters to you matters to us.
KSHB4. Stories on your Tuesday morning. The Conference Board set to release its August report on consumer confidence, measuring people's attitude on the economy and labor market. When consumers are more confident, they spend more, and that stimulates the economy further. Last month's index was better than expected after dipping in June. We'll wait for the new numbers today.
The Kentucky man who was the first writer who entered the U.S. Capitol illegally on January 6th, set to be sentenced today. Michael Sparks was convicted of 6 federal charges, including 2 felonies. Federal prosecutors have recommended a 5-year prison sentence.
A new study in the medical journal JAMA is showing an increase in the number of heat-related deaths over the decades. Researchers say between 1999 and last year, more than 21,000 people died from heat-related causes. That is a 117% spike from previous decades. Extreme heat, now the #1 weather-related killer in the U.S., according to the World Meteorological Organization.
Here's your latest Kansas City forecast from meteorologist Lindsay Anderson.
Yeah, that is staggering. All right, everybody, it is 6:16 this morning. We have thunderstorms that are moving across Iowa and Nebraska this morning away from our region, although there are some scattered clouds moving through. You can see this outflow of boundary and the cloud cover drifting to the southeast. Still, temperatures very warm to get the day started. Just did not cool down a whole lot last night, unfortunately. So once again, we are starting off in those upper 70s, some of us in the low 80s, 80 in Independence, but a little better in Lawrence, down in the valley there where our reading site is. Now, temperatures will warm up very quickly today, 85 by 11 a.m. and then 94 by 3 p.m. So getting outside today will be very important to do this before 10 o'clock. Once we get to the 10 a.m. hour, it starts to become a little bit more difficult to be out there for an extended period of time, that 10 a.m. to about 4 p.m. window. By 5, thunderstorms may be forming, and whoever gets in that first thunderstorm will definitely notice some cooler temperatures starting to feel a little bit better. In fact, by 7 p.m. we very well could be down in the 80s if thunderstorms turn more widespread. Here's a look at that future cast where storms start to fill in a little bit more. Take this with a grain of salt. Don't look at this model where the storms are exactly placed. They could very well be anywhere in this region, but I want you to notice the coverage. So they start off very isolated, and then it grows in coverage within a couple of hours. By 9, 10, 11 o'clock starts to spread around Kansas City more, and then eventually between midnight and 3 a.m. the storms will lift and pull away into northern parts of our area, and then possibly even the eastern parts of the area. By Wednesday, we are more dry outside. So we have to watch for that potential where a storm may produce some small hail, could produce a microburst, as in we get a wind gust that could exceed 50 miles per hour, maybe near 60. The greater risk of severe weather is over the Great Lakes today. Can't completely rule that out here in our area, though. You can see Storm Prediction Center has placed that marginal risk of a threat level 1 out of 5 here in the area. So temperature wise, today and tomorrow looks similar. I am expecting dew points to drop off a little bit tomorrow, so that's why heat index values tomorrow are going to be below 100. That is worth celebrating. And then Thursday, it does even better, 92 to 94. Thursday is going to be the final day of this heat. Okay, so 3 more days of this, which still feels like a lot, I know. But by Thursday night, this front that's moving across the Pacific Northwest is set to move in, brings us more much needed rain and thunderstorm activity, and drops temperatures nearly 10 degrees. So by Friday, even with storms in the morning, south of I-70, we're at 82. And you can see going into Labor Day weekend, running in the 70s and 80s as well. The holidays on Monday, Labor Day, 76 with a mostly cloudy sky, and we're going to hold in the 70s. You can even see Red Wednesday, game day on Thursday, the home opener and even NFL opener here on Thursday night. Football looks fantastic right now, where temperatures will be below 80 degrees.
For a high, and that's a night game, so it'll be mid-70s that night,
Fantastic.
low 70s. Perfect weather for the Chiefs opener, which you can watch right here on KSHB 41, by the way. 6:20 on your Tuesday. Tonight, the City of Independence Planning Commission will hear a proposal to allow tiny homes and smaller additional living structures to be built on your property.
This would only be in a portion of Western Independence. Let's get to KSHB 41 News reporter Claire Bradshaw. She's live in the Inglewood Arts District to share more about this request. Claire, you talked to neighbors who are both for and against this, right?
Yeah, good morning, you guys. And the Inglewood Arts Center nonprofit is behind this proposal. They say their goal is to give property rights back to property owners to have these accessory dwelling units or ADUs and the tiny homes be built in the area. But one woman I spoke with said that she's not for this because it's not her asking for the rezoning. So if you take a look at your screen, we'll show you the map of who this would affect. The city's brought this proposal to create an overlay district in the Inglewood Arts District shown on this map. So that area in red is the Arts District. That area in green is the proposed overlay. So people in the green would be allowed to build tiny home communities or so-called granny flats on their properties. The idea was started back in 2019 by residents to sustain the neighborhood. While it has attracted some artists, there are also residents not in favor.
I became a resident about 3 years ago because of the Art Center and what's going on here, and particularly the zoning overlay and all the efforts happening in the community.
We are not being asked our permission to do this. This is something that is overlaid on us that we didn't expect, we didn't anticipate. I bought a home in a residential neighborhood to live in a residential neighborhood. If I'd have wanted to live in mixed use, I have several choices around the cities.
So the Planning Commission meets tonight at 6 p.m. in the lower level of City Hall. Lee Phillips, who you just heard from, she said she plans to attend and use her voice against this proposal. She started a petition last year when it first came up. She had almost 115 signatures of people against this. Back to you guys.
So Claire, walk us through the purpose of allowing these ADUs, these tiny homes. Why only in Inglewood?
Right, and it's only going to be for this portion of Western Independence. The ADUs, they would be an additional dwelling space. So it could be a granny flat if somebody wanted to have their aging in-laws move in with them, or it could be an artisan space since this is the Arts District. They say it would attract new residents, and the tiny homes would be built in cluster neighborhoods, again, bringing in new residents. They say it would be an affordable home option, and only in Inglewood because they're the only people who have brought this to the city. Something else to add is Lee Phillips said she's worried about those artists having the accessory dwelling units. She's worried about random people coming onto their properties that she's not aware of in her neighborhood.
And that was a new term for all of us too, granny flat. If you hear that from now on, probably not the last time we hear about those. All right,
Bradshaw live for us this morning. Claire, thank you very much. The first debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump is scheduled for next month.
Our Scripps congressional correspondent Stephanie Liebergen joins us live at 6:30 to explain why there's some debate over the debate.
Fresh off her Olympic gold medal, Tara Davis Woodhull is now an assistant coach at Kansas State. We caught up with her and Hunter Woodhull as he gets ready to leave for his third Paralympics. That's coming up.
KSHB 41 Traffic is sponsored by Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling.
A K-State couple literally bringing the gold to Manhattan.
Do you remember them? I watched the video of her leaping up into the stands so many times. One already a gold medalist. The other has his eyes on the Paralympics set to begin tomorrow. KSHB 41 News reporter Ely Schoenig introduces us.
Tara Davis Woodhull and Hunter Woodhull are household Olympic and Paralympic names. But soon, Kansas Cityans will be able to catch the power duo a little bit closer to home, and that'll be right here at Kansas State University.
I love a purple track.
Greatness comes in many forms.
I mean, I won gold on a purple track, so that was cool.
And Tara Davis Woodhull took countless jumps of faith to get here.
I wanted to put something out there so far that no one could touch, and that's the energy I was channeling all season.
It's how she won an Olympic gold medal.
The crowd went crazy, and it was like roaring in there, and I fell back into the sand, and I looked up at the arena.
More greatness in these viral moments.
I ran over to Hunter, and he was just shouting at me that you're the Olympic champion. He was the first person to ever call me the Olympic champion, so it's pretty special.
Now it's Hunter Woodhull's moment to compete for a gold medal in Paris at the Paralympics.
There's no words to describe like how happy and proud I am of him.
It's just something we love.
But his and Tara's goals are even bigger than a medal count.
We want to get people's eyes on long jump, and we want to get people to care about the Paralympics.
More greatness through their representation.
EMA. Every man a Wildcat.
And Kansans will see more of the track and field power couple with Tara as a new assistant coach at Kansas State.
Honestly, the best welcoming I've ever had. The purpose of life is just to enjoy it, and that's what I hope to bring to K-State.
Together, Tara and Hunter will keep being great.
If one dream and goal is reached, then I feel like I've done my job.
Through every step and every jump. In Manhattan, Elise Schoenig, KSHB 41 News.
That is epic. I'm getting educated on all the K-State things from Daniela. What is it? This?
Yes, Wildcats.
Yes. Okay, that's amazing. I'm used to this, but I got this down. Okay, we've got the heat building in still for the next 3 days before things start to cool down. We'll see a big change by Thursday night, and I'll preview that next.
KSHB 41 weather is sponsored by Price Chopper.
One News starts right now.
Jackson County voters will get to decide on a new tax to help senior citizens, what it'll cost, and how it could benefit seniors.
And a potential setback for a homeless shelter proposal in Johnson County. What's next after the Lenexa Planning Commission denied a request for a permit?
What a time to be a Royals fan. Royals are now just one game back, you guys, from the AL Central lead. They beat the Guardians not once but twice yesterday. We'll take a closer look at the standings that I check every day coming up.
Yep, or you could just watch Lindsay's Instagram profile and check her stories.
Yep, let's go.
Exactly what's going on. But, however, first let's talk about the weather, because once again we're talking about dangerously high temperatures on your Tuesday morning. And not only that, after the high temperatures, we also have some storm chances to talk about tonight.
Yeah, lots to discuss today.
Yeah.
Temperatures this morning very warm. You could see where we're headed for by about 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon in those triple-digit heat indices. But currently 80 in Independence, 80 in Raytown, 79 OP, 76 DeSoto and Bonner Springs, 80 in Buckner, 79 in Gladstone. So it's still very warm around the city. You can see for your school day planner, we're up to 88 by lunch. Very hot recess day. 94 degrees at the end of school, and about 4 o'clock is when we would likely see first rounds of some thunderstorms in the area, and these storms may produce some heavy rainfall. We could get, of course, frequent lightning, but maybe some strong wind gusts as well. It's all a part of a frontal boundary that'll provide just enough lift in the atmosphere, and there's just so much heat, so much humidity, and so much instability to where these storms could fire up. We'll talk more about those and the timing, what you can expect in your future cast, as well as when cooler air makes a comeback. You're going to want to see that. That's all in just a bit, guys.
Lindsay, thank you. Speaking of cooling air, if you need a cooling center today, you can scan the QR code on your screen to go directly to this page to take you to the map and help you find the one that's closest to you. Lots of different options for you to get out of the heat today if needed.
Thank you so much, Taylor. Your time right now is 6:33. Well, so far, our commute throughout the Kansas City metro area continues to be in great shape. Here's a look at the overall wide view map. We have a small incident taking place in downtown Kansas City near Van Brunt, but so far, that's just isolated to that location. Here's a look right now, 435 southbound at Stadium Drive. Just be aware ongoing road work is causing some moderate congestion along this stretch, but it's only confined to this area. You should be good to go if you keep on heading south on 435 southbound. Your drive times are coming up next.
All right, Daniela, thank you. Both presidential campaigns will be back on the road this week in swing states all across the country.
With the conventions over, nominations set, we are looking ahead to the scheduled debate between former President Trump and Vice President Harris coming up on September 10th. Our Scripps News congressional correspondent Stephanie Liebergen joins us live this morning, though. Stephanie, there's been a lot of debate about the debate. Yeah. Is it going to happen? Where does this stand? Break this down.
Hey, Lindsay and Taylor, good morning. That's a question we all still have as well. Is the debate going to happen on September 10th? These questions really started after a post from former President Trump on his Truth Social over the weekend, where he was first criticizing ABC, the network that's hosting the debate, as being too biased, kind of introducing the idea that he might back out. From there, the debate went on to whether or not the microphone gets muted when it's not a candidate's turn to speak. That was something that we saw back in June between the Trump and Biden debate on CNN. That was something the Biden team had pushed for. It is unusual for microphones to be muted for a candidate during a debate. However, the Harris team wants to do a step back to the normal. They want the microphones on the whole time, which would allow for more back and forth between the two candidates, would allow them to attempt to interrupt each other when it's not their turn to speak. That's what Harris is going for, but Trump's team saying, no, we agreed to the rules based on the CNN rules back in June with Biden, that's what we want to stick to. So we don't know yet what the resolution is going to be for this question of whether or not the microphones are muted. So clearly, both campaigns still working out some of the rules for that debate on ABC, but it's scheduled for September 10th. It could be the first of 2 debates we maybe get between former President Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. Both campaigns had agreed to an October debate, but it's unclear when that would be, what network might host it, or where that would be. And then the vice presidential candidates, they've agreed to debate October 1st in New York City, that one hosted by CBS.
Stephanie, one of the big topics still on social media, something that people talk about a lot, still have theories about a lot, is the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump earlier this summer. Actually, not that long ago. So much has happened since then. Yeah. The House task force that's investigating that actually went to the site in Pennsylvania where that shooting happened. What was that visit like for them, and the Secret Service staffing changes since the shooting? We've already had the director step down in the last couple of months. Give us an update on that.
So the House task force, remember, this is a bipartisan task force, unanimously voted for in the House when it was created. So both parties really working together on this. Some of the members who visited the rally site yesterday had been before. Other members, it was their first time seeing it. But all of them that had been on the site really commenting about the type of understanding that they got after seeing all of this in person. They better understand exactly where the building is, where the roof is that the shooter was on top of, where the former president was standing on the stage, and how close everything was to each other. That was an understanding that even though you look at maps and you look at pictures, they just didn't quite wrap their heads around it until they were able to see it all in person. But beyond going to that rally site in person, they also met with local law enforcement who were involved in the security that day in the Butler, Pennsylvania rally. So all of that really just the beginnings of this House task force investigation. It's one of many investigations ongoing, and we know the Secret Service doing their own and making changes as well. As you mentioned, the director, Kimberly Cheadle, resigned a few weeks back. There is not a new director just yet. They are still working under an acting director. We also learned within the last week that 5 of the agents that were involved in the security for that rally in Pennsylvania have since been put on administrative leave. Certainly an indication that the Secret Service taking this attempted assassination very, very seriously, and a lot of investigations going on to try to make sure it never can happen again.
Stephanie Lieberg in live for us this morning inside the Capitol. Stephanie, thank you for that.
All right, thank you, Stephanie. 6:37 this morning, a live look outside, 77 degrees before 7 a.m. Meteorologist Lindsay Anderson has more on our hot day and when storms could come, coming up in 3 minutes.
Did you know that in middle-income communities, there are about 13 books for
40, and we're gearing up for another hot day today. Of course, we've got actually 3 more days of some of the high heat. Temperatures not as extreme as yesterday or Sunday. We got up to 99 each of those days. But still, low to mid-90s are expected the next 3 days, and then boom, down we go. And it's going to feel so much better going into our holiday weekend, and even next week looks phenomenal. And this big change is all driven from a strong cold front that is pushing through the Pacific Northwest at the moment. You can see there's some rain from Seattle up through western Canada, and that will make its way here to our area Thursday evening, Thursday night. Here's a look out there on our futurecast right now. We're going to see these storms at 8 p.m. Thursday start to move into northwest Missouri, northeast Kansas, maybe closer to midnight in Kansas City. We'll definitely be able to fine tune that timing for you a little more detail later. 6 o'clock Friday morning, cooler air tries to move in. We still have some rain lingering. This is when we're down in the 80s on Friday, and then opens the door for some really cool air going into next week. I do have some low temperatures even in the 50s next week. We'll talk about that nice change coming up.
All right, Linz, thank you very much. 6:41 this morning, the Jackson County Legislature voted down a proposal for the Chiefs to be put on the November ballot.
What this means for the future of the Chiefs coming up at 6:51.
In Johnson County, residents shared their opinions on the proposed homeless services center at a Lenexa meeting last night. Their voices coming up.
Savings. Big O savings.
Get up to 60.
Morning, a federal judge in Texas has temporarily suspended a Biden administration program offering a path to citizenship to undocumented immigrants married to U.S. citizens. The government can still accept applications, but those applications cannot be approved while the judge considers whether the program is legal.
Back here at home, an explosion damaged a house in Independence last night. The fire department got a call about 5:45 that a construction crew hit a natural gas line while working near a home off Fair and Pearl Streets. That, we're told, caused the gas to build up in the basement of a neighboring home, and it ignited. Fire crews had to evacuate every house in a 1-block radius, but thankfully no one hurt there.
Here's your latest Kansas City forecast from meteorologist Lindsay Anderson.
All right, everyone, it is 6:45. We have some scattered clouds moving across the area this morning, but most of it now southeast of the city to where we are waking up to a very clear, maybe a little hazy sunrise early today. Here's a live look out towards the Power and Light Apartments. Temperatures quite warm at 77. So a few locations have cooled below 80 degrees, but other spots are still running near that number. We're at 79 Independence, Lee Summit. Looks like downtown has officially dropped to 78. Olathe is at 78. Nicer in the Valley and Lawrence at 71. 75 in Sedalia, 77 Chillicothe and Cameron, just holding on to 79 degrees. Really, we'll notice a big warm up today, especially when we get to the lunch hour. So very important if you need to find yourself outside or running errands or maybe exercising, working out in the yard. Before 10 a.m. is going to be your best bet. When you get to 10 or 11, you might find yourself exerting a little bit more outside and it's just a little too uncomfortable. So we're talking those heat index values today that will exceed 100 to 105 degrees outside. So this is going to add more heat stress to our bodies, of course, and the wet bulb globe temperature is kind of measured in different ways than what a heat index is measured. It takes into account the sunshine, it takes into account cloud cover, wind, sun angle, and because of that, when we look at kind of today's forecast, looks like stress will begin if you find yourself exerting outside for 45 minutes. Heat stress could certainly begin on your body. So just something to take into consideration. On top of that, we do have an air quality alert today. Ozone levels close to the ground will exceed that 100 level range, really. So that means that we're in this orange category. Unhealthy for sensitive groups. Take care of yourself. The stagnant air, the really hot conditions, definitely leading to more of that ozone development close to the ground. So the positive news here is that we have thunderstorms, much needed rain and thunderstorm activity that will really help to cool things off a little bit. Of course, it does add still some humidity, but it should help. And I think I see storms forming after 4 or 5 p.m. Notice 11 o'clock. It's starting to turn more widespread in the area before drifting and weakening north and northeast of the city by between midnight and 3 a.m. Most of Wednesday ends up staying dry with a blend of sun and clouds, and it's still hot, but it may not be as humid. The storms today, there's a very small chance, you can see that marginal risk of severe weather, very small chance that hail and wind could develop out there. Notice your forecast next 3 days. This is the last bit of the high heat. 94 tomorrow, 92 Thursday, but that pink bar are those heat index values, and we will be below 100 starting tomorrow. So each day we're slowly improving here. Thursday night's when the bigger front moves through, brings us thunderstorms and drops temperatures significantly going into the holiday weekend and next week.
Lindsay, thank you. Back to one of our big stories this morning, the latest chapter in something we've been talking about for a while now. The Lenexa Planning Commission unanimously recommending last night denial of a special use permit for a new homeless services center.
Restart wanted to run the shelter at the current La Quinta Inn site off West 95th and I-35. This morning, we passed the mic to the voices involved, as well as community members who showed up to that meeting.
So let's get to KSHB 41 News reporter Olivia Acree with what's next here. And Olivia, just some context. So many people showed up to speak at the meeting. They didn't get done until about midnight last night, right?
That's correct, and it's about in line with what they were expecting, because the big thing is that this issue is not over. So although Lenexa's Planning Commission voted to deny recommendation last night, this will still move to City Council on September 17th, and they will have the final say. But still, like we said, there were more than 75 people who showed up to voice their opinions on what should happen with this proposal. You can see in this video just how packed it was. Last night's vote from the Planning Commission was unanimous and came after the commission met and heard from city staff, Restart, the organization that submitted the special use permit request to build the shelter, and people who live in Johnson County. Listen here to some.
I'm asking you to choose courage instead of fear. Courage to address the basic needs of residents of Johnson County who need it the most.
We need to rethink this and do it right if we're going to help the people of this city and help the homeless.
Again, City Council will meet next month, and if they want to overturn the Planning Commission's decision, they'll need a super majority on that vote. Back to you guys.
So Olivia, Restart's the organization that wants to run this. They said they want to work with the city to still try to get this passed. What's the goal with this shelter?
That's correct. So, even once Lenexa announced that they were planning to recommend denial last week, Restart has remained committed in at least giving their presentation as they did last night. And they say that the end goal of the Homeless Service Center is to work with the people that it serves to ultimately find stable, affordable housing. That's the end goal here.
All right, Olivia, thank you very much.